The Civil Justice Award is recognition by the legal profession of unsung heroes who, despite personal sacrifice, have fought to preserve individual rights. Criteria in judging the award include the degree of personal commitment to civil justice, the significance to the community of the outcome attained, and the enduring nature of the nominee's contribution. Past winners of the Civil Justice Award have included asbestos campaigner Bernie Banton, ACT Chief Minister John Stanhope, Queensland children's rights campaigner Hetty Johnston, and former intelligence analyst Andrew Wilkie, who, in fact, I received a telephone call from the day before yesterday to tell me that he would be coming along to our conference tomorrow. I've mentioned our mission statement before. The Australian Lawyers Alliance is an association of lawyers and other professionals dedicated to the protection and promotion of freedom, justice, and the rights of the individual. Over the last few years, there was one Australian who required this protection more than any other, and that person was David Hicks. This year's award goes to an extraordinary man who has gone well beyond the call of duty to defend the rights of his client, despite considerable odds being stacked against him. Imagine this. You're working for the government of the United States of America. You're assigned the case of defending an accused terrorist of foreign nationality following the devastating terrorist attacks on US soil in 2001. What do? Well, to be the defence lawyer in that particular climate would be taxing, to say the least. Despite this, you rise up and you defend your client's right to a fair trial. You defend your client's right not to be tortured, and you publicly criticise the military commission system, the venue where this entire proceeding is to take place. The winner of the 2007 Civil Justice Award has done that and more. His fight and belief in maintaining basic human rights, even in the most oppressive of circumstances, has been an inspiration to the Australian legal community and the nation at large. This year's winner spent 4 years in the enlisted ranks of the US Marine Corps. After graduating from Norwich University in 1991, he became an officer in the Marine Corps. In 1994, he graduated from the Western New England College School of Law in Springfield, Massachusetts, and was admitted to the bar in Massachusetts. During his career, he has prosecuted and defended more than 200 cases of Marines accused of crimes from rape to drug dealing, before taking on the task of defending David Hicks in 2003. He was appointed by the United States Department of Defense to represent Hicks in November 2003, and he saw the case through to the end, despite various immense obstacles along the way. His defence of David Hicks has been marked by extensive and vigorous advocacy of his client in the public and the political spheres. I know he would rather have returned to Australia with David Hicks, a free man, but we are honoured to have him as our guest here in Hobart today. The Australian Lawyers Alliance is proud to announce the winner of the 2007 Civil Justice Award, Major Michael Mori.
Thank you very much. It's truly an honor to receive this here, especially with everyone here present, especially with the Honourable Sir Anthony Mason present, and the members of state and federal government. I hate that picture. I guess I need to start off, and I'm not going to talk that long, but I do want to make sure that I recognize all the other people that really participated in representing David Hicks that you may not know about because they weren't seeing that publicly. In Australia, there was Steve Kenny and David McLeod from South Australia who were involved in the commission process, and Steve Kenny from the very beginning advocating for the family of David. Michael Griffin, a Sydney solicitor and a Army colonel in the reserves who also participated in the commissions and was at Guantanamo. You probably never even knew that because he was very silent about his position. Obviously, David's federal litigation here in Australia, we never would have been able to do it without Kate Eastman from Sydney and Brett Walker and Chris Hoy barristers in Sydney that volunteered their time to take his case to federal court. And across the sea for our United Kingdom representative here, there was a solicitor, Steve Grossman, and a barrister, Mike Fordham, who volunteered their time to lead the fight for David's British citizenship case. And in the United States, we had Josh Ratell, a New York lawyer who gave his time pro bono to help out on David's case, as well as the firm Jenner Block to help in his federal litigation. So we had 3 different litigations going on in 3 different countries, and we never would have been able to do it without people in the legal profession that felt the obligation to give of their time to help protect David Hicks, an Australian citizen. And I wish they could all be here as well, because it truly represents their effort, as well as Major Jeff Lippert, who was, after 7 months of screaming for another lawyer in my case, the military finally gave me one, and it dragged on for so long that he got transferred to another job, and then I got Rebecca Snyder, who some of you may have met, and who came in and participated in the case and was a great help. And I wouldn't be here today, obviously, accepting this if it wasn't for everyone's hard work and their hard work and contribution to trying to achieve for David the same trial protections and rights that, as an American, I've grown accustomed to, and I think an Australian deserve just as well. I just would also like to thank everyone here. The Australian legal profession, I think, was probably at the forefront of raising concern and wanting to know a little bit more than what the media was initially saying about David. And I think that was the beginning of the consciousness here in Australia and from the legal profession to wanting to know more information, to question what was going on. And again, I don't think David would be home today if it wasn't for groups like the ALA and members of the Australian legal community across the board showing their concern and interest in his plight. And so I'm deeply honored to receive this, and thank you very much.